Songs and Stories of the Rising, honoring Ireland 1916 to 2016. There will be no intermission tonight, so as not to interrupt the flow of the evening. So feel free to move around as needs be. The washrooms are down there on the right. But we do ask that during the reading of the proclamation and the other readings that we will have tonight, that you remain seated so that everybody can hear. Tonight, April 23rd, 2016, we gather to honor and to pay respect to the hundreds of men and women of the Rising, and particularly to the 7 men who drew up and signed the proclamation, declaring Ireland a republic. The proclamation was read by Padraig Pearse on Easter Monday, April 24th, 100 years ago this weekend, on the steps of the General Post Office in Dublin. These people gave their hearts and souls and bodies and blood in the belief that they would indeed, and I quote, save the soul of Ireland and forever assure the freedom of the Irish nation. Dennis Corr and Matt Quinn will deliver this same proclamation in just a moment. The beginning of the revival of the culture and the ancient traditions of the Irish in the 1890s, after 700 years of British oppression, is believed to have been the inspiration of the actors, teachers, artists, and musicians who were the architects of the rebellion. Thus, Hamilton Irish Arts formed to promote and encourage a living Irish culture of music, song, language, and dance, chose to commemorate this very special 100th anniversary of the Rising in songs and stories. We will begin with the singing of our national anthems by Padraig and Bonnie, followed by the reading of the proclamation.
We pass through, Tartring the Ronic Wing, Fain White Banks there, Shantir Shincher fast up, the Agrif and the Fronthof and Straw, and all the hymns of Barnaquay, Leg young American combustors they come and scrag, Felom not be there, Shawnee funny, Ironically. Sorry, you got a dry throat there.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide
Poblacht na hÉireann, the provisional government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland, Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organized and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organization, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organizations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment and, supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state. And we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights, and equal opportunities of all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and all of its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonor it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valor and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDiarmid, Thomas McDonough, Padraig H. Pearse, Eamon Camp, James Connolly, Joseph Plunkett.
land where fancy is free, and stern where the peaks meet the sky and the blocks meet the sea, where the rivers run clear and the bracket is gold to the side, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to the land where life is a song, and sing where the birds fill the air with their joy all day long, where the trees sway in time and even the wind sings in tune, and the cares of tomorrow can wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to the land where leisure remains.
Did you turn your vocals up? Gosh.
Doesn't matter. It's pretty rugged.
Oh, sugar oh, yeah. Oh, sugar oh, sugar yeah. It's your hot dog tower. Sugar find the name of every great today. You keep right celebrate love. Still deep to let the ground. Oh, sugar yeah. Oh, sugar yeah. Oh, sugar yeah. I miss your hot dog tower. His cruelty will get gone. Oh, sugar Hawaii. Oh, sugar Hawaii. Oh, sugar Hawaii. I miss your hot dog tower. Finally, I'm back on flipping. Gonna be blowing down the track. On the neighbors, me the Gaskia. It's forward for the crowd. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. I miss your hot dog tower. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. Oh, no, sugar, Hawaii. It's your hot dog tower. Great song, Oh No Sugar Hawaii.
In 1913, a number of Irish women held a meeting in Wynn's Hotel in Dublin to discuss the possibility of forming an organization for women who would work in conjunction with the recently formed Irish Volunteers. A meeting led by Kathleen Lane O'Kelly, Nee Shanahan, on April 2nd, 1914, marked the foundation of Cumann. Branches which pledged to the constitution of the organization were formed throughout the country and were directed by the Provisional Committee. The Constitution of Cumann contained explicit references to the use of force by arms if necessary. The objectives of the Cumann were 1. To advance the cause of Irish liberty. 2. To organize Irish women in the furtherance of this object. 3. To assist in arming and equipping a body of Irishmen for the defense of Ireland. And 4, to form a fund of these purposes to be called the Defence of Ireland Fund. The Constitution stated just 3 things. For the time being, the direction of the branches will be carried on by the Provisional Committee. Number 2, branches will be formed throughout the country, pledged to the Constitution, and directed in a general way by the Provisional Committee. And 3, members will be expected in addition to their local subscription to support the Defence of Ireland Fund by subscription or otherwise. Its recruits were from diverse backgrounds, mainly white-collar workers, professional women, but with a significant proportion also being the working class. In 1916, it became an auxiliary of the Irish Volunteers. On April 23rd, which is actually right now in Ireland, it's the 23rd, or sorry, today is the 23rd here. So, much for that. They said when you're nervous to put a little laughter in there and it'll help. On April 23rd, today, 1916, when the Military Council of the Irish Republican Brotherhood finalized arrangements for the Easter Rising, it integrated Cumann along with the Irish Volunteers and Irish Citizen Army into the Army of the Irish Republic, so they joined forces. Padraig Pearse was appointed overall Commandant General, and James Connolly, Commandant General of the Dublin Division. On the day of the Rising, Cumann members, including Winifred Carney, who arrived armed with both a Webley revolver and a typewriter, entered the General Post Office on O'Connell Street in Dublin with their male counterparts, so side by side. By nightfall, women insurgents were established in all the major rebel strongholds throughout the city, except for 2, Boland's Mill and the South Dublin Union, held by Eamon de Valera and Eamon Khan, respectively. The majority of the women worked as Red Cross workers, basically already said this, were couriers or procured rations for the men. The members also gathered intelligence on scouting expeditions, carried dispatches, and transferred arms from dumps across the city in the insurgents' strongholds. Constance Markovich, for example, armed with a pistol, during the open phase of the hostilities, shot a policeman in the head near St. Stephen's Green. Later, Markovich, along with other female fighters, amongst them Mary Hyland and Lily Kempson, after a day of carrying out sniper attacks on British troops in the city centre, demanded that they be allowed to bomb the Shelbourne Hotel. At night, British troops entered the building by the Kildare Street door, unbeknownst to the garrison on the Green. At dawn, the British opened fire, outflanking the Irish, who were forced to retreat. Markovich, Mary Hyland, and Lily Kempson were Cumann members among a force of 12, led by Frank Robbins, who raided Trinity College, and found 50 rifles. But by that time, the Green garrison had retreated to a smaller but stronger building, the College of Surgeons. At the Four Courts, they helped to organize the evacuation of the buildings at the time of the surrender, and to destroy incriminating records. This was exceptional. More typical was the GPO, where Pearse insisted that most of them leave at noon on Friday, April 28th. The building was then coming under sustained shell and machine gun fire, and heavy casualties were anticipated. The following day, leaders of the GPO decided to negotiate surrender. Pearse asked Cumann member Elizabeth O'Farrell, who was a midwife at the National Maternity Hospital there, to act as a go-between. Under British military supervision, she brought Pearse's surrender order to the rebel units still fighting in Dublin. Over 70 women, including many of the leading figures in Cumann, were arrested after the insurrection, and many of the women who had been captured fighting were imprisoned in Kilmainham. All but 12 had been released by May 8th in 1916. I could tell you more, but I think we need to carry on with the schedule. But I will encourage you to Google and research Cumann. The women in the Rising were there in full force, standing beside their comrades, and
16 Rising came from north and south of Ireland, and many of them were poets and scholars. In Kilmainham jail, Corey Pierce said, people are saying hard things of us now, but we
Everybody looks after me.
There is a place in every world and the countries go by. In a mind of exploitation, the glass behind the crowd. In farms and fields and factories, in workshops, mine or grave. A flame was lit, a begin burning, that flame with fire. And Connie was there, all over the time of competition. Connie was there. Drink robbery and corruption and hypocrisy and crime. Despite the fact that it's how I did the work. But all this hard work will be money that's right. Harry was there, all the way behind the competition. Harry was there. Our bosses tried to sneak when was the rain and thunder, sunshine and endless night. In a Liverpool and Belfast, the fires lit the air. I finally rose for the Lord with the drinking light. Harry was there, all the way bring on competition. Oh, Irish men, they can come always up the bended knees and running through the hall. Your buttons terribly, grandfather was actually from Athenry, County Galway. And the song was written by a very good friend of mine, Pete St. John. And beautiful song, The Fields of Athenry. Here we go. Prison hall, I hear the young girl calling. I know they are sending you away. Are you stop civilians born? Some young might see them all. Prison ship lies waving in the bay. All I need is of that and wine, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of black and white. Prison wall, I hear the young man calling. Nothing matters there. Against the famine and the crowd, I bear the club down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. All together. Oh, lie the fields of fat and rye, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of black and it's so lonely round the fields of black and white. On the harbor wall, she watched the last star falling as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. And we live and hope and pray for love in godly day. It's so lonely round the fields of black and white. Oh, ride the fields of black and white, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We dreamed songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of black and white. The fields of black and white. When we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of black and white. It's so lonely round the fields of black and white. Thank you. Beautiful song, The Fields of Black and White. You have a great chorus in this one as well. I think half of you forgot your glasses. Huh? I'm off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun. Hey, the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. Oh, I am a merry plowboy. I plow the field by day till the sun gets in me mind that I should run away. Though I've always hated slavery since the day that I was born. So I'm off to join the IRA. I'm off tomorrow morning. I'm off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. I leave beside me old grey coat, I leave beside me cloud, and I leave beside me horse and yoke. So more I need them now. I take me short revolver and me bandolier of lead, and I live or die, I can't but try to avenge my country's dead. And we're all off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. Now there's one I leave behind me, she's the Colleen I adore, and I wonder will she think of me when she hears those cannons roll. But when the war is over and dear old Ireland free, I will take her to the church to wed, and the rebels await she'll be. And we're all off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. Now some men fight for silver, another man fight for gold, but the IRA are fighting for the land the Saxons stole. And we're all off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. Once more, we're all off to Dublin in the green, where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash through the echo of the Thompson gun. Nice one, thank you. We're going to take a little.
On the 24th of April 1916, and lasted for 6 days. It was launched by a 7-man military council of the Irish Republican Brotherhood to end British rule in Ireland and establish an independent Irish Republic. With much greater numbers and heavier weapons, the British Army suppressed the rising. Padraig Pearse agreed to an unconditional surrender on Saturday the 29th of April. Just a few days after the surrender of the rebels, The British executed the leaders and created more martyrs. They were. Yep, no, this.
Thank you. Sounds good. So, Patrick Pearse, you've heard a little bit about him already. He was a 37-year-old teacher who had established his own school, St. Enda's, in Rathfarnham, Dublin, where young boys could learn about Irish culture and language and music. During the Easter Rising, Pearse was in charge of the GPO, and as president, he was the one that read the proclamation. As the week ended, it was Pearse who gave the surrender order to avoid further loss of life. He was one of the first to be executed. His younger brother Willie was also executed.
Thomas Clark, 58 years of age, had served 15 years penal labor in England for his earlier exploits with the Fenians. Now, as a leader of the Irish Republican Brotherhood and a member of its Supreme Council, he was a key figure, motivator, and planner of the rebellion. His name is the first signatory on the proclamation, and he was executed alongside Pearse.
Eamon Kent, 35, also one of the founders of the Irish Volunteers. He had a keen interest in Irish culture, language, history, and music, and he was a talented uilleann piper who played for Pope Pius X on one occasion. As commander of the 4th Battalion of Irish Volunteers, he was in control of the South Dublin Union.
James Connolly, 48, was born in Edinburgh, but came to Ireland and formed the Irish Socialist Republican Party. He was active with Jim Larkin in the 1913 Dublin strike and formed the Irish Citizens' Army to protect the workers. In 1916, he was appointed Commandant General of the Dublin Forces. He was badly wounded in fighting from the GPO and was one of the last leaders to be executed, being brought by stretcher from the hospital to Kilmainham jail. He was sat up in a chair for the firing squad.
Sean McDermott, 32, like many of the volunteers, the revolutionaries, was interested in cultivating Irish language and culture and joined the Gaelic League and then the IRB, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, in 1906 and ran their newspaper, the Irish Freedom, in 1910. In 1912, he contracted polio, but continued in the top ranks of the IRB and fought in the GPO.
Thomas McDonough, 38, was also a teacher with Pearse at St. Edna's. He was director of training for Irish Volunteers and later joined the IRB. In the Rising, he was commander of the 2nd Battalion that occupied Jacob's Factory and the surrounding area.
Joseph Plunkett, 29, was the youngest of the leaders. The son of a papal count, was educated in England and Ireland. He had poor health, but helped establish an Irish National Theatre. He joined the Irish Volunteers and later the Irish Republican Brotherhood, where he became Director of Military Operations. He too was stationed at the General Post Office. And on the night, as Padraig referred to earlier, before his execution, while in Kilmainham jail, he was given permission to marry his sweetheart, Grace Gifford, just 4 hours before his execution. And of course, that is immortalized in the wonderful love song, "Oh Grace, just hold me in your arms," which Padraig sang earlier. So that's it, 7 men who had a vision and took hold of it and went with it and created the Ireland we have today. Thank you.